and it's Tantric Tuesdays. I'm doing this just to show people what actually happens in a tantric workshop. It's not an orgy. No, it's an orgy. You want to stay till the end. It's not an orgy. So if you like what you see, please smash up that like, press subscribe, and turn on the little ding-ling-ding, because I have no idea when I'm going to do these next. But I hope you enjoyed the sex magic one, because that was fun. So, welcome to Tantric Tuesdays. Ignore this. Everyone, don't ignore this. So today is all about conscious touch. With Tantric Tuesdays, we stack up all the things we learn until the end of the journey, where we've collected a bunch of tools that we could use in everyday life to create more intimacy and connection with yourself before connecting with others. We're in a space like San Marcos, and there's other spaces like this in the world, where a lot of people are traumatized and they have a lot of problems which mainly revolve around sexual energy, which is relationships in every form. And what I like to do around the world is teach people very simple tools so they can actually deepen that level of community and connection. And I'm going to be teaching you a very simple practice, which I do with everyone I give a Yoni massage to, everyone I'm about to form a relationship with, in fact, even my business partners that I'm going to start my company with, or people who's going to move into a house or an ashram that I'm building. Like, it's all the same, but the thing about sexually transmitted diseases is out of it. So I'll tell you what it is before we dive deeper into the practices. So today we're going to be learning how to build a container, learning about conscious touch and using touch as a form of meditation rather than getting what you want, and also learning how to be present and relaxing your nervous system through touch, and then doing a closing ritual. So 3 simple things. And these 3 simple things can be taken and expanded as its own entity. And during this practice, I'm going to be demonstrating, and we're going to be embodying all of this, because a lot of information we're not going to remember, whereas if we practically do stuff, we install it into the body and then it works better. So first of all, I'm Uddin. I am the founder of sacredsexualawakening.com. I've been on this journey of Tantra for almost 8 years now, and my main line of work is giving Yoni massages. No one really knows what that is. When I started giving a Yoni massage, I used to be a unicorn, and when I said it to my friends, they were like, "Mate, what are you doing? Are you like finger banging someone for 10 minutes and watching Netflix?" Because I was like giving a Yoni massage for 3 to 5 hours back then. That's a long time. And normal people literally have no concept of what that can be. Like, no idea. It's so beyond what they've seen on Pornhub that there's no reference point. Whereas now this practice of Yoni massage, Yoni Yoni mapping is actually in the NHS. It's actually part of well-being in the health services in a lot of the Western worlds now. So Mike Lazanza's psychosocial. I can't remember. It's on long time ago. All these trainings. Well, 8 years started it 8 years ago. On my website, sacredsexualawakening.com, there is all of my references of all the training I did. I had a lot of time and a lot of money back then, and I traveled the world learning from the best teachers in the fields that I wanted to be really good at, which was Yoni massage, Yoni de-armoring, space holding, therapy, energy orgasms, and all the other cool stuff that I could do. The foundation of all the cool stuff that I was doing is conscious touch. Now, Jake, I want to see your beautiful little face, but this is right there. There you go. So, Conscious touch is the foundation of everything I do as a space holder and a healer. Who here has seen Charisma on Demand on YouTube? So I suffer from a thing called social anxiety, if you can believe that. And I had to like look at things on the internet to build my confidence again. I actually burnt out back in 2017 from giving too many Yoni massages. And it's been a really long journey just to, like, after not having a body that worked, after getting fat and sad, after losing my sense of purpose and direction, I spiraled into depression and chaos. And I started watching a thing called Charisma on Demand, and it teaches you how to build your confidence as a man. But there was this really good episode with Chris Hemsworth, who plays Thor in the Marvel films, and he's a universal toucher. So they showed these interviews of him touching everyone. And I was like, that's nice, because I only touch the girls I want to have sex with. And that's how I was. But I knew I needed to overcome this social anxiety, and I needed to be able to talk to the man at the bus stop and the woman at the coffee shop and the hot girls. So I might as well start off small and work my way back up again. And conscious touch is a really good platform to become a universal toucher. Now, who here has been touched and you felt like there was an agenda behind it? Like it's like a needy touch. Yeah. Women, you guys feel it more because you feel everything, and your mind will not know what's going on, but you know something's a bit off. And I knew when I was touching someone, because I only touched someone that I wanted to have sex with, there's definitely an agenda behind it. Because I want to be close to them, and that's a form of flirting, and da-da-da. When you become a universal toucher, there is no more agenda behind anything. And people, everyone, including the hot women, or the person you're trying to, attract, they like your touch. People like being touched. It makes them feel safe and comfortable. When you take out the story behind a touch and you drop into presence, you are able to actually relax people's nervous systems. You're able to relax your own nervous system, and you're able to come into a space of presence, and then touching becomes a form of meditation. So we're going to do a little exercise, and this is for everyone back at home as well. Who was here when we did the little finger exercise? We're going to do the little finger exercise, and I'm going to show you the difference between a normal touch and a conscious touch. So I want everybody to just touch their arm how you normally touch your arm. It's nice, right? Now we're going to do a conscious touch. So the arm you're going to be touching with, raise that arm. And now look at that little finger of that arm.
My little finger. My little finger. I'm just talking.
You know I'm deaf.
I'm just talking my finger.
Okay. I'm genuinely deaf. So everybody look at your little finger. Like there's nothing else in the world apart from your little finger. Take a deep breath into your little finger and keep on looking at it. You're sending your intention, your awareness, your consciousness to your little finger. Now, does your little finger feel more alive now than it did a second ago? If it does, say, oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Beautiful. That's energy. Jake, how's it going?
Practicing.
Practicing, can you feel anything?
I mean, it's twitching, so maybe that's what.
There's something's happening. If there's tingles or something that wasn't there before, then energy's going to it. Wherever the mind flows, the energy. Wherever the mind goes, the energy flows. Right. Now, bring your awareness to your whole arm. And bring that consciousness and that aliveness to your whole arm. And with the other hand, you're going to give yourself the lightest of touch. We call it an air touch. And you're going to go really, really slow. You're going to close your eyes. And you're going to slowly touch every single part of your arm. The hair follicles, going past the veins if you feel that. And you're going to take some time just to meditate, dropping out of your head and into your body, specifically into your arm. And I want you to go slow. If you think you're going slow, go slower than normal. Breathing into your arm. Breathing with your mouth open. And just feeling as much as you can in your arm as you touch. And keeping your eyes closed. Taking away one of the senses to enhance the other. Now this could be the first time you've given your arm this much attention. And on a somatic level, there's something going on a psychological level. And from here, you can feel more of your arm, your upper arm and your shoulder. Again, slowing down and just exploring. And remembering to breathe with your mouth open. Relaxing your belly, relaxing your shoulders, relaxing your pelvic bowl, and just breathing into your arm. And now, bringing your awareness to both arms and start caressing and touching both arms. And now we're going to send a different kind of energy to your arms. Keeping your eyes closed. And remembering the last time you said, I love you to someone.
Just someone.
Someone, or even a dog, or even a cat, or your child, or a friend or a beloved. Seeing that person in your mind's eye and allowing a little smile to grow across your face. And now letting go of that image and just concentrating on turning up the sensation rather than the person's face. So feeling the, oh, I love you, feeling, and sending that energy to yourself. Unconditional love as a physical sensation without the stories attached to it. And to enhance it even more, you're going to hold yourself, and we're going to do this practice for 90 seconds. And we're going to say to ourselves, as you're saying this to a child or your pet dog or cat or someone that you love, I love you so much. Oh, I love you. I love you, I love you. Try to generate that on a somatic level. And if you need to say the words to help you feel it or whisper it, then I invite you to say it out loud. I like to say I love you to myself. Oh, I love you so much. I love you. 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 And wherever you are now, taking a deep breath into your heart and exhaling with sound. And taking a deep breath into your belly and exhaling with sound. Taking a deep, deep breath into your sex and exhaling with sound. Slowly, slowly flicker your eyes open. So that is a form of self-love meditation. Self-sourcing this feeling of love within yourself, without having to find your twin flame, going through toxic relations just to feel a sense of presence and love. All humans are a reflection for you to generate your own energy. If you know how to generate your own energy, then you become sovereign and you don't have to keep on searching and searching and searching and take anything you'll take. But you start filling yourself up with this magnetic energy. The more you become without the lack, the more self-love you have, the more abundance you start to exude. And this is charisma, this is magnetism. And then things just start happening. More serendipitous moments, more synchronicities, and more manifestations. Because that lack and neediness is out your nervous system. It's on a nervous system level. So to self-regulate, to relax your nervous system, a really good practice is this practice. So this is your homework for this week until next week, because I'm going to give you more homework after that. So we're going to have a little sharing, as this allows you to express and process any of your emotions, and also it allows you to be seen in your process. So is there anything anyone wishes to share?
I thought you were going to talk for an hour.
This is me talking for an hour.
Oh, well, that's a very different experience from what I expected.
I know some people just think too much and they will have to leave, and I will just do what I do. People who trust and stay will get a better experience. Yeah.
I'll just say that was pleasurable.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was pleasurable. I don't do that with myself, and I do have a great hunger for touch, so I might try it again.
Well, if you're coming next week, you have to do it every day. It's your homework. Look at his face! That is the homework said to everybody. It's a journey. If you want to see something change in your life, The connection to yourself has to change. I used to suffer from addiction, all gone, because of the practice you will learn at the end of the journey. I'm just teaching you a little bit here and there. It stacks up. Anyone else wish to share?
I'll share.
My man.
When you said, think of somebody you last said you love you to, it brought up a lot of memories. Not so good, because I was actually about 6 months ago, I was supposed to be married. Yeah, so I was just like, fuck, and you like brought tears. And but then when you said to hug yourself, it like brought a sense of relief in a sense, yeah. And I was like, at first I was like, oh, I don't want to go there right now. Yeah, because it's still very tender. Yeah. But now I feel a little more relaxed just from touching and holding myself. Yeah.
You're doing it, that's how it works.
That's how it works. Yeah.
Yay! For me, if people are crying, and in my other line of work, squirting, you know it's working. That's when I know there's something going on, a bit of release, because that's stored in your muscle memory. And on a healing therapy level, if something comes out, breath, sound, and movement, tears, anger, something, then something's shifting.
Yeah.
And that's beautiful to hear. So thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
One more share before we go a little bit deeper.
Okay, I do. It just feels so beautiful. I don't even want to stop.
Good, this is what I like to hear. Yes, we are our best lovers. Like, we know what we like. We're so busy searching other ways to pleasure ourselves and please ourselves, we forget that it's already here. Like, my practice has been the same practice for 7 years now. Same thing every single day. And this is how I reverse aging. Just a mindful masturbation practice, which I'll be teaching you on the last day of the 4-week journey. It's a bit of something to take away with you. But this is the foundation, conscious touch. Now, before we go into the rules of engagement and actually experiencing conscious touch, I'm going to tell you a story about my dad. In 2017, I had my burnout, which was the start of my second awakening. I actually thought there's only one awakening, and no one told me about the second one or the third one. So it hit me by surprise that I was actually more fucked being a healer than I ever was being an alcoholic and a drug addict working in advertising. I was way more burnt out, way more frazzled, way more suffering and pain in my body from giving Yoni massages than I ever did working in this very fast-paced world of advertising in 20 years. During this time, I got a phone call from Bangladesh, and they said that your father's ill, my mum. He's had a stroke. All the kids need to leave wherever they are and go to Bangladesh because he's going to die. For me, I got the phone call just after having a threesome. Just finished giving back-to-back Yoni massages at the Ibiza Tantra Festival, one of the best Tantra festivals out there. If COVID stops and Ibiza Tantra Festival is running, highly recommend it. My job there is a healer, so I'm giving Yoni massages all the time. So my heart is fully open. I got a bit of pain. I'm starting to burn out, but it's not as bad as it starts to become. So I go to Bangladesh, and I knew my dad wasn't gonna die. And everyone's worried, everyone's praying that he's gonna make it. And throughout the whole journey, I prayed and visualized what I needed to do to heal not just my dad, but the whole family. And I went back to a place like Bangladesh that is heavily built on fear, guilt, and shame. It's a strict devout Muslim country. My parents are quite high up in the village. They built the mosques and helped build the schools in the villages and things like that. So, and then there's me, with a shaved head, blue hair, mustache covered in gold and glitter. And my brother, who they trust, they said to me, give him a massage. I don't know why he said it. And I told him, bro, you know I only give Yoni massages. And back in 2017, I was just focused on vaginas. I didn't really know the body. I was just a vagina specialist. So the only massage I knew was Yoni de-armoring, which is to release trauma from the body through just, it's like trigger point release. So like you could do this by yourself. If between the ribs, if you just hold here, things start releasing and things start popping. And you can feel in your chest muscles starting to dissolve. And this starts to connect to all parts of your body. And that is what I do inside of a vagina for, was back then, 5 hours. Like I'd be in there, finding the tension, holding it, pressing it, until it starts to spasm, then it starts to release, and then it melts away. Then there's this tiny rice-like grain, and then that's where the core of the trauma is. And this is where a woman will be crying and screaming and howling for the time it takes for it to dissolve and go away, and then they can breathe again. And then I go start again on another part, and I work my way around the inside of the vagina. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna have to do that technique on my dad. My dad, not on his vagina. I didn't. It was on parts of his body, like here. There's certain trigger points that you could do on a human, on every human, and it doesn't have to be sexual. So for me, to touch someone who I've never touched in my life, my relationship with my father is good. It's amazing now, he's my hero. But before that, he was a very violent, absent father. He broke my nose, he beat the shit out of me. I was obviously the worst child because I was batshit crazy. But our relationship wasn't good and we never touched. You just don't touch people in Bangladesh. Like, there's no need to. So for me, to see this very frail, young, old man who I'm used to seeing like this and like telling me how to live my life was different. And I was like, I prefer him like this. And then I just like went into my shaft goes out the window, healer shaft comes in, I become present. And then I just started doing all this de-armoring stuff. And this guy, he can't even speak. He's like a shell of a man. But during this time, I held him. And I went and did the deeper work on his body. And he started releasing, screaming, allowing his face to move and like actually expressing emotions for the first time. My brother took him to the hospital the next day, and they took his blood and urine and everything, and they said, there must be a mistake, something's happened to him overnight. And again, my parents trust my brother, not me. I'm just a weird guy who does weird stuff. And he said, whatever you did, keep on doing it. So every single night, I held that was the most I did on de-armoring, because it's a process. Then the next time, I held my dad's head, and I've never held my dad's head. He's under 5 foot. Like he's a miniature human. I don't know how I managed to be, the way I am, but I'm nothing like my parents. He's tiny. So I got his tiny little head, and I'm just holding him and just asking him simple questions. Like, I've got a relaxed nervous system. So through the science of mirror neurons, he will start relaxing his nervous system. No one's ever touched him before. So the fact that someone's literally holding space for him, and I'm channeling all that love I got from the Yoni massages into his body, and just asking him simple questions like, Dad, what are you grateful for? And no one's asked him anything about him. He's always said, get job, get married, have baby, do this, do that. No one's actually said, Dad, who are you? So I held him and asked him very simple questions. And this allowed him to tell his story for the first time in his very long life. He started crying, he started releasing, and all of us started crying and releasing and like allowing the emotions to flow through us. This allowed him to feel more safe and more comfortable. And the fact that I'm just constantly holding him and touching him allowed him to relax and relax and release, allow the emotions to flow through him for the first time in his life. After 7 days, he made a full recovery. A lot happens. I do daddy issue workshops, so I won't go into the exact tools I use to help him expand and heal the whole story around the family. But because I was the closest person to him during the most vulnerable space he was in, he started, just through osmosis, started to pick up my healthy habits. He started to actively listen for the first time. He started to ask questions. Is it okay if I share? My dad doesn't do that. Just because I was the biggest energy in that field during his time of vulnerability and like pain and suffering, literally rock bottom, I was able to imprint him with a new way of talking. Now me and my dad, like, it's amazing. Like, he's incredible. He's my best friend now. He's still the same guy, but my perspective about him completely changed because of this simple method called conscious touch. In order for you to feel safe, you need to build a container. And this is what we're going to do now. This is the last bit that I'll be doing for this live stream because we're going to go into the practicals. Now, to build a safe container, you need to ask some questions. I learned this in ISTA, and it's called the Rules of Engagement. This is an older method to the new method that they have now. And it's 6 simple questions. Let's say you meet someone and you like someone and you just learned this conscious touch ritual, which is I'm giving you now. You meet someone and say, hey, I went to Tantric Tuesdays with Uddin, check him out on Instagram and YouTube. And he taught me about this conscious touch ritual. Would you like to try it? And they'd be like, oh, that sounds weird. They said, it's okay, we're going to build a container first, and then we're going to do this conscious touch ritual to relax our nervous system, and then we're going to have a very nice closing ritual at the end. People are curious, people want to do weird stuff, wearing some markers. People are open to it. So you do, and then the ritual is one person speaks, one person listens. And so the ritual is conscious touch ritual. So I would sit opposite someone and say, so what is your intention for this conscious touch ritual? And they listen, the other person speaks. When they finish, they will say, thank you for listening, and then you're gonna switch. Now that person asks the person who asked, what is your intention for this conscious touch ritual? It's kind of like sharing tennis. And then you move on to, what are your fears for this conscious touch ritual? Then what are your desires? So this could be a menu of things or how you want to be touched. Then you're going to ask, what are your boundaries? So is it clothes on, underwear, genital touch? Can I touch your bum? Can I touch your boobs? Can I touch your vagina? Like, what are the actual boundaries? Now, I've given Yoni massages where people have turned up and they kept their underwear on. It's a Yoni massage. But this is what I love about boundaries. The fact that they gave me, like, and they were wearing underwear. So I had all this. I couldn't touch their boobs or their genitals. And I had all their other body parts. I was able to give them one of the most shamanic experiences that I've given without touching their vaginas. Releasing their sexual traumas because I had this boundary. So I used to work in advertising, really good at hitting the brief. So I was able to go deep without having to touch them in the place where the trauma is. And for me, it's exciting because it's a different way to do the same job. And when you're given these boundaries, there's a lot of cool stuff you could do with a human body. It's infinite. If it's going to be a sexual experience, the next question is, do you have any STIs? And this could be deeper questions, such as, when was the last time you got tested? Have you ever had anything? Have you had unprotected sex since? Is a good one. And then the final question is all about expectations. So what will this conscious touch ritual mean to you? So that's the framework of the beginning. It's a lot of talking, but you got a lot of clarity in that. Then we will go into the experience, and then at the end you have a closing ritual. This is where you sit opposite each other, you've just had the experience, and you're sharing from a place of gratitude. So first person, whoever wants to go first, will say, thank you for this experience. I was able to go deep within myself and touch you, and it felt really safe and comfortable, and you're just expressing gratitude. Then you're visualizing bringing back your own energy, so you're whole and centered again, and you say, what's mine is mine, what's yours is yours, I release you. And then you switch, and then the other person expresses gratitude, brings back their own energy and says, what is mine, what is yours, I release you. And then you're done.
Yeah.
Simple process for simple people. We want to keep it simple because it allows people to have clarity, certainty, and a relaxed nervous system. You don't know what, like there isn't any unexpected things because we're, first of all, sober, conscious, and we're using transparent communication. So safety is key. In that safety you can expand, and also your boundaries can move in any moment. So if you feel more safer, more comfortable, you can take off more clothes. If you don't feel comfortable, more safer, you just put on more clothes. Like you can do whatever you want because you've given yourself permission at the beginning. And that's really cool. So in that space, everything is welcome. All emotions, all triggers, and everything. So that is a conscious touch ritual. If you like what you saw on my YouTube channel, subscribe, press up that smash, press up that button nose. Okay, I'm gonna sign this one off, and I'm gonna go deeper into this. So, this is what happens on Tantric Tuesdays. It's not an orgy. The conscious orgies do happen on a full moon. They're called Temple of Intimacy. They happen somewhere else. So, and that's where we learn about boundaries and consent as well. So thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed this. Hope this was educational for you. And I hope you gained something from this. And if you want to know more about self-love, check out the links below. My online course is available, The School of Self-Love.